Coming up on today's episode, recapping Weekend 11 in the NFL. Monday Night Football, Dallas Cowboys showing out. Bills' Josh Allen has a career day, 6 touchdowns. Getting the recap and give you my new Week 12 power rankings, all coming up. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk from the Crib. I'm your host, Tanner Christian. If you're new, episodes are airing every Tuesday and Saturday morning now. It's available on all streaming platforms. Sure to check out the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. You stream the podcast on there, as well as, check out social media. Feel the Heat Entertainment. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok. We do game picks. We post majority of them all on YouTube. You see on the YouTube shorts at Feel the Heat Entertainment, where my dog Coco and I do the game picks for the week. So subscribe, give us a follow to the channels, and let's hop into it. Let's start with the Monday Night Football game. Cowboys defeating the Raiders 33-16. Cowboys showed up, man. They improved to 4-5-1. The Raiders now fall to a putrid 2-8. They were honoring Marshawn Kneeland. Of course, the tragic passing of him during the Cowboys bye week. So, the hearts were heavy there for Dallas Cowboys and their players for this game. And they showed out, man. Dak Prescott, 268 yards, 4 TDs. And I tell you what, Pickens, man, looked like the best football player on the field. 9 catches, 144 yards, TD, 74 of those yards came after the catch. Now, one thing, I was wondering this when the first series happened for the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb and Pickens were on the bench. Supposedly, they were benched by Brian Schottenheimer, the head coach, because I don't know the reasoning. I don't know if that ever really got out, but they weren't out there for the first series. We're like, where are they? Where's Pickens and Lamb? And so they were benched for the first series of the game. That's probably why they didn't. It's the only time they didn't score. Now, CeeDee Lamb did drop a wide open, nobody around him TD late in the fourth quarter. That would have made Dak Prescott's 5th touchdown. And that would have won me my fantasy week. Dang. So, pretty disappointed in that. But on a good positive note, I was undefeated in my picks. I beat Coco. Yep. Finally. I guessed I'm all right. She got one wrong. But for the most part, she did pretty good, too. So, anyways, I got some bragging rights for at least something. Because I'm bitter about my fantasy team. Scoring 173 points. And just needed 6 more points to win. And he drops the wide open touchdown there at the end of the game. I was like, oh, man, I really came all the way back and going to win this. But because I was trailing big going into that night because I had Brock Bowers too. But anyways, big win for the Cowboys. Monday Night Football. They're another big acquisition that made his debut was Quentin Williams from the Jets. He had a bye with the Jets. Then he gets traded to Dallas, and they were on a bye. So he got some prep work in. He finished in the second half on the night. So he was dominating in the middle of that with Kenny Clark. In that interior defensive line for the Cowboys. So they did pretty well getting pressure on Geno Smith, caused him to throw an interception, so, and I think Cowboys, we know the Raiders are bad, right? But the Cowboys, I don't like them this year, but these little acquisitions they've made have actually been pretty good, I think, and making the team better, but their defense is still being a little suspect moving forward. But anyways, let's hop into another crazy game. I mean, here I'm going to sound bitter again. Yeah, I was going against Josh Allen in fantasy football too. As part of the way, I had to have Dak Prescott and everybody ball out. But Bills 44-32 victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They improved to 7-3, a big win because last week it was horrible. showing in Miami, only scored 13 points. Everybody's wondering where the offense is at. But big win for them. Bucks fall to 6-4 now. Josh Allen, 317 passing yards, 3 TDs, 6 carries for 40 yards and 3 TDs, 6 total touchdowns in the game, man. I mean, the guy was just unstoppable, and he was proving everybody why he won the MVP last year, and he was proving everybody that, hey, that one performance last week in Miami isn't me. So he came out and showed out, and this is the reason why I lost my fantasy football team. Anyways, the Bucks will go on to play the Rams next week. Bills are going to play the Texans that are coming up on Thursday Night Football. Texans will be without C.J. Stroud again. So, short week. Bills can get going. I mean, they win that game, prove 8-3. They're really rock and rolling right behind the New England Patriots, who are sitting at 9-2. So, Bills still right there within the divisional reach. One big glaring fall from this Bills game. Buccaneers, where were you? First off, Baker Mayfield didn't throw for very many yards. 176 yards on the day. And it just wasn't pretty at all. 173 yards, so 3 yards lower for Baker. They just really couldn't get the pass game. And the bright side for Sean Tucker, that's why I say there's a big glaring fall for Buffalo. Sean Tucker, third string running back for the Bucks. 19 carries, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Bills' defense is so bad on these zone runs and reads that they just let up. They're the worst in the league. They're 31st. So almost dead last. But, I mean, they can't stop the run. They can't stop. And any time there's motion going across, then it's like everybody has this college-type RPO thing in the AFC. So it's very glaring because Miami did. That's why they had so successful runs with Devon A-Chain the previous week. And now Sean Tucker does the same thing. And Indianapolis with Jonathan Taylor. That's why Jonathan Taylor, I mean, this zone read that's really working in the NFL right now. Jonathan Taylor's, man, he's balling out, leading the league in rushing with the Colts, and Jaguars running a lot with Etienne. And, all these teams run the same kind of concept in these run plays, and Buffalo just can't stop it when there's any kind of motion or any kind of zone outside runs. And they're just like, can't stop it. I don't know how else to explain. They're just missing the gaps. They're all the linebackers and corners. So there's like seem to be running into each other. It seems like they just don't know where to be, what gap to cover. I don't know. It's so bad. Like it seems like the whole, like Sean Tucker ran for, 50 some yards? He wasn't even touched on that one run. I can't remember the exact number of why it was, but it was almost like a 50-yard run without even being touched on the one zone. Devon A-Chain last week, I mean, he had almost a 200-yard game against the Buffalo because of the same kind of concept. So that's one glaring hole the Bills really got to fix moving forward. Another big game I want to talk about, the Seahawks and Rams, the big NFC West showdown. Remember what we're talking about? Is Sam Darnold really Sam Darnold? Matthew Stafford really is Matthew Stafford. We know that. And what did I say going into this game? I trust Matthew Stafford way more. I'll take Matthew Stafford any day of the week over Sam Darnold. And that was the case in this game. Rams 21-19 victory. The Seahawks fought back despite these numbers. So Sam Darnold, 279 yards on the day. No touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. So we have 4 interceptions on the day. And that's just horrible. He reverted back to his old self. We knew it was coming. We didn't really trust him on it. And in my feeling, deep down, obviously anybody that watches Sam Darnold, you saw it last year in Minnesota, the final 2 games, you expect it against the competition when things get tight, and it happened again. Meanwhile, Matthew Stafford, he only threw 430 yards. 70-some of them went to old Puka Nakua. Like, their game wasn't working, but he had 2 touchdowns, and he didn't turn the ball over, and they won the game. Improving the 8-2. Big, huge win for the Rams in this divisional game, too. So, now, my favorite stat of the day, Jackson Smith and Juba, 9 catches, 105 yards again. But Devontae Adams, 1 catch, 1 yard, and 1 touchdown. What a game by Devontae Adams, man. What were they making fun of him? But, oh, man, his quad hurt or his hamstring or it was something that he went out of last game. Like, damn, man, Uncle hurt. Uncle needs some rest, too. And it's pretty funny. But, I mean, hey, man, you got a catch for a touchdown. You did right. So Matthew Stafford now continues his role. Way up to 7 straight games without an interception and 22 touchdowns in that span. So 27 TDs and 2 picks on the year. He's my MVP runner-up. So I got Jonathan Taylor as MVP right now. So Matthew Stafford and Jonathan Taylor, to me, are like neck and neck in the MVP race. I mean, Rams, their 2 losses, seriously, they should have won those games. Because the one glaring thing I would say if I have a flaw about the Rams, the Seahawks fall, we all know what it is. It's Sam Darnold when it comes to big time. The Rams, it's their kicking, man. They missed too many kicks. They need a new kicker or something because the kickoffs are weird. Even the punts, the field goals, what is it, Cardi's, he's still missing. That's something the Rams got to fix because if it comes down to the end of the game field goal, I don't trust the guy. If it comes down to the punter trying to pin these guys back, I don't trust them. And if it comes to the kickoff, I don't trust them kicking it off either. So, the Rams have to fix this. Or else, it may come back to bite you, when it's a close game like this again. Because Seahawks did miss the game-winning field goal. They still had a shot to win this game despite playing so badly, despite Sam Darnold throwing 4 interceptions. So they should be a little bit encouraged. Just a little bit. But still lost the game. And I have Matthew Stafford, man. That's one of my favorite players to watch at QB anyway. So, and he's stupidly underrated. Hey, another big thing. He is now above 500 in his career wins. So, Matthew Stafford is above 500 for the first time in his career because you remember the decade-long stretch. Was it more than that for Detroit where they just couldn't win games at all, and that team was so bad. Oh, man, these Detroit Lions were so bad. They forced Calvin Johnson to retire. They were so bad. But anyways. All right, let's get into this week's power rankings. Week 12 power rankings. A little bit of a shuffle from the previous week. Okay? And I still think there's so many flaws in these top 5 power rankings this week to me. I don't feel like it's a definitive, clear-cut, great team so far. But here we are. At number 5, I got the Indianapolis Colts. They're 8-2. I've kind of kept them at this over the last few weeks. Trusting Daniel Jones. Come playoff time. Can we do it? But just hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. The guy is running wild. He has 1,139 rushing yards on the year, 15 TDs, 260 receiving yards, 2 TDs there. 17 total. Danny Dimes is handing the ball off to the MVP. They got kind of a little bit of a tough schedule coming up. So they're really going to need to lean on the running game and Jonathan Taylor. But I have them number 5. This sneakily up number 5. Same with number 4. Sneakily. Forget about it. Number 4, Denver Broncos. They're 9-2. They don't like to play for the first, 3 3/4 of a game. But that final 3-4 minutes of the fourth, hey, Bo Nix starts, dropping dimes. And they won another close one this week against Kansas City at home, 22-19. Bo Nix gets another game-winning drive. What is he up to, 5 game-winning drives on the year? Is that what we're up to with Bo Nix now? But, hey, 9-2, number 4, that's why they are there. I still think they're a really flawed team. Out of everybody in the top 5 here, we know Denver has a good defense, but it's just that offense. Can it come together? J.K. Dobbins is out for the year. We'll see how the rookie R.J. Harvey can step into that role a little bit better. It's interesting to see that. Number 3, I got the New England Patriots. They're 9-2. Travion Henderson, they're finally handing the guy the rock, the rookie. I don't know. Ramondre Stevenson may come back. Coach Variable may want him to fumble a little bit. To get back to the norm. Maybe take Henderson's snaps away. No. Let's not make that happen. This kid played his butt off these last couple games, and he did it twice in 4 days. Sensational performance last Thursday night. And they got the run game going. Drake May has been doing well. People are saying MVP for Drake May. I know he's in that conversation, but I'm not there yet. He has played great this year, though. But New England's sneaky because if they got the run game going now, that really helps out Drake May, and that's going to make him even better in the play-action game and whatnot. So that's why they're at number 3, and they're leading the division in the AFC East. They got to go on the easiest schedules. They got the Bengals next, too. So chalk up another one for the Patriots. At number 2, I got the big guys, man. They came out with the victory in the NFC West showdown. Got the LA Rams. Like I said, Matthew Stafford out here balling. He's up to 22 TDs in the last 7 games. They got the run game going this last week with Kyron Williams, so that's a good sign to see. Like I said, their kicking game is what worries me for the Rams, but they're 8-2. Matthew Stafford's balling, and Puka Nacua and him, that's all you need, it seems like. Then get Uncle Devontae Adams going here and there. So that's why they're number 2. Number 1, you guessed it, it's Philadelphia Eagles. They're staying number 1, despite everybody hating them, despite me hating them, despite you hating them, despite how upset we are about not getting A.J. Brown the ball, despite how upset we are about Saquon Barkley can't run at all this year, it seems like. But they're 8-2. And they beat the Lions 16-9. The defense played great against those Lions offense. Primetime game, another victorious fly, Eagles fly, game. So they're my number 1 power rankings in the NFL going into week 12. Defending Super Bowl champs, despite what we hear and say and do, they're winning games and they just figure it out somehow. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap up today's episode. And thank you all for joining me here on Sports Talk from the Crib with your favorite sports host, Tanner Christian. Remember, new episodes are every Tuesday, Saturday morning. So be sure to check it out. It's available on all streaming platforms as well as the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. Check out, you can stream the podcast on there. Check out the social media, Feel the Heat Entertainment, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. Give us a subscribe to the YouTube channel. You see Coco Bean and my game picks for the week. Be on the lookout for that. Thank y'all for joining me again. Catch y'all on Saturday.